Hi, it's Eva from Happily Ever After, and I am here with Jennifer Adell. She's the lead esthetician at New Beauty and Wellness in Westport, and I absolutely love coming here for facials, and we thought it would be really fun to film a little tutorial together of Gua Sha. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Yes.
You did.
And all of the tools that you can use for Gua Sha, and it's all for everything from lymphatic drainage to really depuffing your face, contouring your face. And people are getting really into it. It's very trendy now.
Trendy.
We thought we would teach you guys some tips and tricks for how to do it. And I am the very excited guinea pig today. So follow along with us, and hopefully you can pick up some little tricks to use on yourself in your beauty routine. This is so hard for me.
What? Oh.
Doing this.
Nice is tough.
It was really hard today.
What do you have on your lips?
This stuff called, it's like a lip oil from Beauty Pie. It's a conditioning oil with like the tiniest bit of color in it.
Isn't it pretty? Yes.
It's so comfortable, you know?
Yeah,
I love it. I
that's
keep it in my bag.
Okay, so when you're using Gua Sha, you really want to have some sort of slip, right? So that you're not tugging at the skin. So any sort of oil that you're already using in your regimen is perfectly fine. And then here's our assortment of tools to choose from for me. But you can do a simple routine in 3 minutes of Gua Sha with just one tool. So it really kind of, you can work with anything that you have, but I'm going to use a variety, and I think I'm going to start with this tool right here, which has a moon, a little notch here, the U shape, a wave, and a comb.
Ooh.
Okay?
What's it made out of?
This is Bian stone, B-I-A-N. And when you're working with lymphatic drainage, right, which is usually how I start using the tool, you want to open up the neck. And reason being is just when you open up those muscles in the neck, which are larger muscles, which carry a lot of tension, you really can get a much more effective relaxation in the muscles in the face. All right, so you're going to take the U, and you're going to hook right at the base of the neck, coming up with some medium pressure just to release some of that tension. There's a lot of connective tissue and larger muscles here. And angle is something that's important, but it's a little tricky to get the perfect angle when you're working the sides and the back of the neck, so you don't have to be too worried about that. And once you have those open, now I'm going to apply my oil before I get working. And this is a really nourishing oil from La Creme Beauty. Really beautiful, especially for you pregnant mamas. You don't need a lot.
It smells so good.
So good. And although Gua Sha is super trendy right now, it has been around for hundreds, thousands of years. It's an ancient, ancient tool. And go ahead.
So besides deep puffing and lymphatic drainage, is this also good for anti-aging, and if so, how?
It is, because, well, first of all, when you're doing any sort of lymphatic drainage, right, that's our waste system, our waste management system. So you're able to detoxify and really increase that circulation of the blood. I'm going to pause right there for a second. So you're just going to take, right, 15-degree angle so that you're getting a lot of surface area of the stone. You okay there?
Mm-hmm.
Really opening up this channel, because this is where everything is going to drain from. And so you have about 43, 44 muscles in the face that do not get exercised very often, right? If you think about going to the gym, right? Cardiovascular workout, working your muscles, everything starts to increase, right? And if you are, after your skin, after you have a great workout at the gym, you see that you have blood circulation moving in the face, you're a little bit flushed, you have a glow. So think about if you're doing that for your face, right? Working those muscles. The largest muscle that you have in your face is right over here, this large jaw muscle. And when you can relax that, you're really able to improve the elasticity, the tone, you're able to sculpt, lift. And that paired with lymphatic drainage, you're really able to detoxify things like congestion, acne. You don't want to work over active acne, but you can treat a myriad of skin conditions. And you feel for lymphatic drainage, the pressure is very light. A lot of people think that this looks like firmer pressure, but it's
so light.
It's so light. The lymphatic system works right below the surface of the skin, so you do not want to use much pressure. Medium pressure is when you want to work on elasticity and tone, and that gets into anti-aging, right? And that's working more of like the connective tissue, the fascia, medium pressure. And then to really work the muscles and sculpt and lift, you're using firmer pressure right along the muscles. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And once you kind of get a groove into figuring out whether you're having this done in the treatment room or you're doing this at home, you're really working also at the parasympathetic system, right? So you're really increasing that ability to relax, which also has its benefits for the aging process, as we all know. How do you feel?
Good.
And for your broader strokes, you could take the comb a lot of people ask the question, can I do this if I have Botox or fillers? And you just want to be mindful of your pressure. You don't want to, if you're trying to relax the muscles around your eyes or your forehead where you've had Botox, this is going to stimulate, right, and increase circulation. So you just want to be mindful of what your intentions are behind this. And you never want to do it the day of Botox, and you don't want to move fillers, so you're just going to avoid those areas. These are bloodstone tension tamers, so they really help reduce stagnation, right? It helps remove any of the stagnation, blood stagnation, fluid that's kind of trapped. So right in this area, for all of those clenchers, this is a great tool. And as you can feel, like you could really, depending on how much pressure you use, get into those jaw muscles.
That feels so good.
And you'll feel too, if you have a lot of sinus congestion or you hold tension in your brows, it works beautifully there too. So even though, you know, you can buy a Gua Sha stone anywhere really now, you're always going to be able to promote the drainage and get some sort of lifting and sculpting, but quality does matter. Like I said, these are made from bloodstones, so they have their own intention behind them. And you can really increase that chi by releasing some of these points.
I can feel this really relaxing the tension in my face.
Mm-hmm. And you see things like skin gym, right? Face gym, all of these trends now for anti-aging, lymphatic drainage, promoting all of this deep face, face massage to really kind of promote in the ways that you would normally use skincare products or Botox filler. There's a lot of alternative ways now if you just kind of wake up those muscles. Similar in the sense that it has a comb, it has a wave, and it has some U-shaped notches, right? So you can, it doesn't matter what stone you have, you can find a way to use it. With this one, you can do it a few different ways. I'm going to use the wave. If you were doing lymphatic drainage here, kind of cups and contours the neck beautifully. Rose quartz is especially good for sensitivity, rosacea. Kind of promotes self-love just by nature of being rose quartz. And when you use your other hand as an anchor and you get that gentle tug, you're really working on that connective tissue, and that's when you start to see an improvement in the skin texture and tone. Flip it around to the wave. And every so often, now that you've opened up the channels in the neck, you just bring it back down to keep things moving. And if you are someone who really prefers not to go the route of injectables, but you have some fine lines that you'd like to address, there are some great tips and tricks that you can use, which I'll show you right now. For instance, if you're using a tool like this, in these folds here, which you actually don't have at all, but we'll just pretend, right? This is the common area where people want to plump up and fill in the volume loss. So by it's pretty gentle. And just waking this whole area up. Now, of course, just doing this once in the treatment room, you're gonna see, maybe 24 hours of results. But if you have these tools at home and can do this on a regular basis, you're going to see a consistent improvement. Feels okay?
Mm-hmm. I really don't realize how much tension I'm holding in my face until I have some of these tools working on my face, and you really feel kind of
Yep.
that tension melting away.
Yeah, and this area in particular, because this is your mouth, right? This is where you're talking, you're smiling, you're using this muscle constantly. There's a lot of tension held in here, all the way up through here. And another favorite tool of mine, these are little rose quartz spoons that you can use for lymphatic drainage, but then you can use for really going a little bit deeper into the muscles now, not so much the connective tissue and the fascia, but the larger muscles. just by design, they really lend themselves to the curvatures of the face. Feels so good, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Do you know what face you're making right now? She's doing
What?
this. Remember on the plane, that Snapchat filter that made your face.
Yes. Do I really look like that?
You did for a second. It was the smile.
This is another place where there's a lot of tension. So you can use your fingers, you can use the tool, but because of the design of this tool in particular, right? You can really get in and break up some of that tension. Also for the fine lines around the lips, which you don't have that either. But the same way we went into these lines here, it really just works on giving that area beautiful volume naturally. You can plump up the lips. You can do a lot with these tools. So for the Rainbow Flourite tool, or the one that we were just using, either one, right? Both have the comb. You can use the comb to really get in there, and she has a smaller forehead, so I'm just gonna use this tool, but to really kind of hook and lift. You can get a beautiful eye lift from Gua Sha right back into the scalp. And then after we do that, we can go right back in for fine lines the way we did around the mouth. And for instance, like in the sculpting facial, you know, I do a lot of stimulating massage with my hands and intermix the tools throughout. Pressure's okay?
Mm-hmm.
And don't underestimate the power of your own hands. It's a little tricky to do this on yourself, but you can see the increase of circulation there, which will just increase the volume. Another one that you can do at home, not necessarily with your tool, but just with your own hands, is to kind of rest your hands here. You feel that release?
Mm-hmm. Feels so good.
And again, when you can release the tension held in the muscles, increase that chi, everything starts to soften, lift, relax in a good way. And you look a lot more well rested. Which is really what we're going for when we're going for injections too, right? We just want to look like we're well rested.
This doesn't seem like it would be a good idea to do if you do have Botox or something though, just because wouldn't you like move it around?
Yeah, you don't want to move Botox, especially filler.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do a little bit on your forehead, if you have Botox there, that's fine. But again, be careful how much pressure you're using, right? But filler, you certainly don't want to be moving around. Again, another place that you don't realize how much tension you're carrying, right?
Yeah.
And we're staring at devices, right? Like we hold a lot of tension in here. This is great if you do have, which again, you don't have, puffiness. This really kind of just really helps that lymph. And once you start doing this long enough, you start to see the fluid actually moving right underneath the surface of the skin.
Is that the one that goes around your chin and your jaw?
Yeah. So this is a great tool that really does the work for you because of the little notch here. It hooks right into the jaw. And I just want to point out here, the angle matters because you lose a lot of contact if a lot of people are going like this. That's when you run the risk of dragging the skin, and you're missing out on all the benefits of the Gua Sha method, right? So when you're 15-degree angle, you feel the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Great for the jawline. Also great to hook right into the nose and relieve some of that pressure here for the 11s.